welcome to, I don't want to call it today because we're Millennial Hustle. You know us. Sorry we ain't been here in a minute. The market decided to take a little break, right? So
that don't mean we took a break.
We didn't take a break. We actually ventured into other stuff. We're gonna talk about it pretty soon. We're excited about it. But today we got a little twist to it. We're actually doing my boy Tim's podcast today. I gave him the idea. So talk with Tim. I'm just throwing it out there so I can break. You know what I'm saying? But pretty much we're gonna let him kind of take the lead, right? And then we're just going to have a genuine conversation of today's topic. He was thinking about just in general. How would you describe what conversation you wanted to have?
Really, the whole conversation, like I said, the podcast, just really the general understanding, I guess you could say, financial literacy, what you guys do as far as crypto and everything. Because a lot of people don't know about the crypto game. I'm still trying to get the understanding of it and understand what crypto is.
You're the perfect friends.
Right, so that's why I reached out to y'all, because I follow y'all on Instagram, YouTube, and my thing is I want to learn. And then once I learn, I want to execute and I want to grow. That's the whole purpose of it, because we've been taught in school that, you go to school, get good grades, you get a good job. But they didn't tell you that you go to school, you get a whole debt that comes with it, and you got to pay it back.
Yeah, they don't tell you about the latter half, you know what I'm saying? They just tell you about the pros. They don't really mention the cons of it.
Not only that, it's like, talking about school and loans, like, why don't they talk about credit?
Right. Why don't they talk about balancing a checkbook, how to write checks, what is debt?
Networking.
What is money? How to make money?
Networking.
How to save money? How to invest money?
Exactly. We don't get taught that. So, like you said, it's a system. But if you think about it, right, without school and without, for example, right, let's say you're gonna be a successful entrepreneur in the near future, right? Or you're a multi-millionaire, right? So let's say you don't have the accounting or finance background, right? You're gonna turn around and hire an accountant or a financial advisor, whoever does your books or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So in a way, we still need that system in place, right? And it's okay if that's the route you want to go. If you want to become a professional, if you want to become a doctor, a lawyer, accountant, whatever, you need to go to school to do that, right? But pretty much the route that we, wanted to take, right, and just to show kids that there is another way, right, is, the entrepreneurship route where you don't, life is kind of your teacher, right? And it's kind of up to you and your willingness to learn and apply what you learn, right? And obviously there's going to be a lot of stumbles, speed bumps along the way, right, as we've seen, right? And we're just here to have that conversation, pretty much, right? And I'm glad that Tim actually brought some attention because we kind of took a break from, recording because of our busy schedule and stuff. But I feel like this was the perfect time to be having this. And pretty much, do you want to talk about what we do as far as entrepreneurs?
Yeah, that's why,
Go ahead, I'm gonna let you take the lead, man. Cause I can talk for him.
Nah, you're good.
I'm long-winded.
My thing is I want y'all to introduce yourself to the people, because like I said, they already know who y'all is on y'all channel, but for the newcomers that gonna be coming on my channel, I want to make sure we get a chance to introduce y'all, because you never know, in the later down future, they might reach out to you and say, hey man, I seen that YouTube video where we're getting on that podcast, and that's the whole thing. Just really trying to get people out of that mindset that, hey, I gotta go to school. Like you said, there's nothing wrong going to school. Nothing wrong, I'm not knocking it.
As long as you have a plan.
Right, as long as you have a plan, but you could be an entrepreneur also.
Exactly. And
that's something that I wasn't taught in my household.
Yeah.
My thing is, there's money all around us, man, to be made. You thinking about it.
If we live in a digital age where money is at the tip of our fingers, man. How to do much.
And what has these current events taught us? They got the money where they're going. So there is no such thing as there's not enough money to go around.
Right.
So it's just a matter of you finding the money and applying yourself and learning, right? That's all it is to it. Honestly, it's not that hard, man. That's we live in the digital era. YouTube University, right? Where this video is going, you can learn how to make $1 million. Like me and Brandon learn how to make ourselves millionaires from watching YouTube videos and using our smartphone.
Exactly.
Right? Now there's a lot. They can also hurt you, right? You can also kill a lot of time.
Be absorbing information that isn't the best, you know.
I mean, you could
not all information is good information.
For example, right? And I don't got nobody that plays I don't knock nobody, right? But in my opinion, right, I feel like that's, unless you already made it and you already did your work for the day, that's like one of the worst ways to spend your day. But I'm not even talking about the video games right now. I'm talking about you going and watching, people that watch gamers and stuff to learn. Like, you could be watching a real estate video on how to appraise real estate, how to find a good real estate, whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's, don't get me wrong, you're gonna need time to because I crash too on that too. Like, if I get too much content, sometimes I just you know what I mean? But my thing is like, we have all the information in our hand. Everybody has a smartphone, right? So it's almost no excuse, and it's free. Right? Pay your phone, but it's free. It's not giving $80,000 education, right, at a university that you have to go and spend gas and get in debt and all this. Is you literally have whatever you want to learn in the palm of your hand, right? So it's just about how you apply. So I feel like there's no excuses. If you have access to a smartphone and the internet, there's no excuses. Like me, you learn how to make a lot of money, and I don't even want to say how many times, just because the IRS is listening, right? How many times we multiply our money, right, just by a simple smartphone and stuff that we started learning on YouTube and in books.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Self-taught, really.
If you really think about it, bro. When I, because I'm the one that kind of introduced Brandon to it, and then we kind of learned together. Like, it got to the point that Brandon got so, when Brandon started making some money, he started getting like really excited. He would call me every day, 2-3 times a day. Hey, did you hear about this? And he was putting me on information. So I was learning through him, right? And then we just, build up our net worth, and then we kind of bounce some ideas off each other. We help each other build a good little nest egg of, it just feels good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just feels good but what's crazy is the thought of, this came from literally watching pretty much YouTube videos and doing research and reading white papers and this and that, and it's to the point now that we can, we can dissect like, there's 10,000 cryptos, but there's like 200 off the top of my head, and me and Brandon have a conversation about it. You see what I'm saying? But that doesn't come without doing that initial investment into wanting to learn, you know what I'm saying? Having the hunger to, right? But that's just our thing. So my bad, man. I talk too much. But my name's Holly. They call me Jay. My friends call me Jay. And like I said, I'm one half of Millennial Hustle Revolution. We want to start the revolution of millennials specifically, right? But anybody's welcome to come, right? Old heads, baby boomers, welcome to
hood babies.
half of hood babies. But like I said, I'm half of Millennial Hustle, and like I said, we just want to spark that revolution of getting young people specifically to start thinking of just not necessarily thinking, but we just want to let you know that there is outlets out there that are other than the traditional system of the American school system, basically, right? And that's pretty much who I am. I am an entrepreneur, and basically on a daily basis, I look ways to build another revenue and income for myself. So I feel like that's a good introduction.
What's up, guys? My name is Brandon. Most people call me B-Tom. I'm the second half to the Millennial Hustle Revolution.
No, you're one of the half. There's no
I'm the second half. I'm like the yin and the yang, man. We work together, we come together, and we got the feng shui going. So, but yeah, it's my business partner, Hobby. We've been at it, almost 2 years now. Just grinding, man. Just trying to make another way for ourselves. We realized that the 9-to-5 punch clock route wasn't necessarily for us, so we had to make a way by any means necessary. We just came together, we put our like minds together, our money minds together. We thought about ways to improve our financial situation, and not only for the present, but also for our future and our future generations, and then we can teach that also to future generations. Millennial Hustle. That's what we're about.
Check this out. Not to cut you off, Tom. It's a good feeling when you walk into your friend's house and he has this, big ass monitor up, and he's literally making money while he's doing this. Right? His monitor's up right now, right? What we call staking, right?
Passive income.
He's making passive income right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't want to talk about how much he's making, right? But I'm just saying, like, that's a good feeling. Because I feel like we found crypto as our vehicle, right, to financial freedom. Right? There's many out there. Right. That was just our vehicle.
We have to be some nerds, and we know how to use technology, and we're kind of interested in not being poor anymore. So
exactly.
that's.
I like how you put that. We're kind of interested in not being poor. I like that.
That's the route we took.
All right, so my question to y'all is, if somebody came to y'all and asked y'all what is crypto, how would y'all explain it to them? Because a lot of people don't know what crypto is.
What would you say? I would say, I wouldn't want to put this in layman's terms, for the average person to understand.
So give them the simple one, and I give them the complicated one.
So cryptocurrency is a part of something bigger, which is called blockchain technology, right? Mm-hmm. And we can go into what blockchain is, what blockchain does, all of this. But really, cryptocurrencies is multiple assets, right? They're considered an asset class, right? The depreciating value that you can invest in, kind of like stocks, but not really.
Okay.
And we want to go into the differences, but what I would add to Brandon, because just kind of like the basic one, right? So when he talked about it, blockchain technology is the technology that all cryptocurrency is based on. So when people think, matter of fact, let me talk about blockchain really quick, right? Blockchain is just a chain of commands where transactions are put into a block, right? And once a block is filled, the block is stored in a file, right, where it can be tampered, altered, or anything else.
It can be added on to, but it cannot be removed.
Or altered, right? So that means it's decentralized. There's no government body or one particular person or a group of people that are able to change that, right? Okay. That's the way the algorithm is made, right? So what happened is, what's his name? Satoshi Nakamoto, mm-hmm. Right? That's supposed
the Godfather.
That's his name, right? The creator of whether that's his real name or not, that's up for debate. Right, but we talk about that another day. So basically, he had a thought that came to him after the 2008 crash, which that's why I kind of really not Japanese because this happened in America, right? And so he said that we couldn't trust the banks anymore, right? Right. So basically, Bitcoin initially was meant to be a peer-to-peer, transaction network, right? Where, for example, think about Cash App. We're writing Cash App you, I Cash App him, but think about that there's no Cash App attached to that. It's just, Bitcoin is the currency, so we're not treating you with dollars. So whatever you value, let's say I want to buy that chair from you, right? Right. And that's your chair. And I say, well, what do you value that chair at? Right? Well, 30 Bitcoin, whatever. So we made examples. Well, I would turn around and instead of dealing with banks and dealing with whatever, giving you cash, right, this government currency, I can just be like, all right, Tim, well, let me buy that chair from you. Boom, right? I scan my little barcode, you get my Bitcoin, right? And initially, that's what it was supposed to be. That's what they call cryptocurrencies, right? But what people don't understand, everybody when they think currency, they hear the word currency, they think, oh, it's just money, right? So, I don't trust that, this and that, right? Because, all your life you probably been dealing with dollars, wherever you live in the world, right? With the government currency. So what people don't understand is most cryptocurrencies that I invest in are actually not currencies, right? They're actually assets that power networks for companies, right? For example, like the second most famous or known cryptocurrency is Ethereum. Ethereum is a company, a network, right? A smart contract network, right? We get into smart contracts another day, and today it don't matter, right? Basically, then you have the Ether token, ETH is the ticker. ETH is the currency of the network. So you can't deal with dollars in the Ethereum network. You want to do transactions or you want to do contracts, you will have to turn your currency into Ethereum in order to operate the network, right? So the only way that we're able to deal with transactions, right? If you're, let's take it very technical. If you're Ethereum, you're literally Ethereum. You're not technical, you're Ethereum, right? And I want to deal with Brandon in your company, right? And I say, well, I want to do this real estate deal, right, with you, right? And we're like, well, we're going to do it on the network. Well, I can't be like, well, the price of, I can't negotiate, this is $200,000, right? Well, what is the equivalent of $200,000 to Ethereum? And when we deal that way, and then the smart contract is down to where, right? We're just talking about smart contracts now, right? Smart contract is a way to take away the middleman, right? So basically, in the future, brokers are going to be pretty much done with, right? It's going to be, I'm dealing with you, and the smart contract is going to be as whatever is done entailed in the contract, right? If I say my down payment is going to be 10,000, I'm going to get the link to the house, right? As soon as that 10,000 hits the account, the smart contract is automatically going to do it. You don't have to go to a title company anymore, right? It's automatically going to be done, right? And in turn, if I, as I make my payments or whatever, right, I'm going to be able to keep my house or whatever, right? That's just like, this is a quick example. There's more technical than that, right? So basically, when you think about investing in cryptocurrencies, right? This is a financial advice. Do your research on what company you see growing, right? And then we teach how to spot a new cryptocurrency. And I was able to spot a couple that did really good for us. And it's the same tools that I use, and it's very simple actually, right? We look at certain fundamentals, right? So basically, that's pretty much cryptocurrency. I just want to clarify that not every cryptocurrency is technically a currency. Now, you can use them as currency, right? But some are not designed technically for that. We have different sectors. You know what I'm saying?
Learn something every day.
That's a lot. Most people don't know that. They know Bitcoin, they know Dogecoin, and some people know Ethereum, and they think they're all the same thing. They're under the same umbrella, but that umbrella got just little webs. So there's different webs.
But there's different sectors. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're in banking, right? You could be in mortgage banking, you could be in business banking, you could be in insurance banking, you could be in retail banking. You know what I'm saying? It's just different sectors, right? Bank is the main thing, right? But then you got different branches. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much. It's different sectors.
So my thing is, what made y'all go into crypto? How did y'all find about it and wanted to venture in that aspect of it?
Okay, so I guess I should answer this one and just kind of lead into him. So basically, how did it exactly happen? It was on social media, and I was already dealing with stocks, right? I was already kind of investing. I made a little money in stocks, right? And I was excited when I made 20% in stocks. Oh my God, I was so excited, right? And pretty much, I was on social media one day, and somebody posted an article, right? And I just happened to click on the article when I read it, and it was talking about this company called Ripple, right? So that was the first. I was married to XRP. I remember. Yeah, I was married to it, man. That's all I bought for the whole year, right? And I realized what they were trying to do was a problem that needs to be fixed to this day, right? So I was like, I just hit them up and like, hey, so how do you buy shares? I said, oh my God, this is crypto. And I already I accidentally invested in Bitcoin in like 2014, 15-ish, I want to say. I invested in Bitcoin on accident. I remember back then it was really hard to invest in, right? It looked kind of shady, but I don't know, the money came through and there was like a lot of fees attached to it, right? But I didn't know that there was like multiple cryptocurrencies. So when you come to cryptocurrency, you're like, oh, I'm like Bitcoin, huh? He said, yeah, Bitcoin. He said, this company is attached to this company, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And he explained it, and I was like really excited about what the company was trying to do. And you should research it for yourself, right? So I can talk. We can make a whole video about Ripple and XRP and what they're trying to do, right? So Ripple and XRP, write that down, free game. You should probably get some, not financial advice, right? And then so what happened is I got into it. I want to say I was investing for maybe close to a year before I really started like telling my friends. And this is at the time where me and Brandon had the gym, right? And so Brandon would come in, and it's a boxing gym, so he's into shadow boxing. I'm trying to tell him about it, right? But he's listening, but he's not listening, right? Because Brandon has I don't want to say childish, but he's very playful, right? He likes to joke about stuff, so he just he can do his thing, right? And one day, after maybe a week of just pounding it on him every day when he came to the gym, I finally I had him download this one of the broker apps, right?
Coinbase,
right? Which is kind of the most basic one that people are introduced to, right? Unless you buy Dogecoin freaking Robinhood, then you probably shouldn't do, right? For other reasons. So he finally did it, right? And I guess just so I could stop telling him, he started buying it, right?
just to shut them up, pretty much.
Pretty much. I really think Brandon's that petty that he was like, I'm gonna do it just so he can leave me alone about it. But so you didn't take it that serious, you just invested small amounts of money, right? And I'm going all in. I'm talking about I'm getting $40, $50 for a session, or somebody signed up to the gym, right? I'm taking that money I already know, if somebody just gave me $80, right? I'm gonna buy 80 because I already know I'm about to go deposit much, right? And then I started doing more and more research, right? And I started learning about cycles, right? And then what I noticed that pretty soon, coming soon, and I see what the last cycle did, right? Doing my research, and I was like, oh, okay, so this thing is cyclical, right? So, because if you talk about people that don't know, they're gonna be, oh no, crypto crash, it was done this and that, right? But people don't know about cycles, right? So once I learned about the cycles, I started telling him, yo, this thing is crazy, right? And then I remember he started doing his own research at first. And of course, you always get the moon videos first. Oh, XRP going to $1,000 and $500 or whatever, right? So he's like, I just need 3,000. And it's not that simple, right? It is easy to make money in the market, but then it's very easy to lose your money in the market as well, right? So I remember when Brandon started to see those numbers, right? But what happened is I was kind of premature with my timing on the market, right? So the market will go up and function. Basically trading what we know now as trading sideways, right? So he was like, he kind of not necessarily gave up on it, but he just wasn't excited anymore, as excited. And then I remember one particular time that I went to go get myself. I went to Verizon, and I was getting my phone.
No, I don't know.
I know you remember. No, I text you. And I said, hey man, go get some Cardano, get some chain link, right?
Oh yeah.
And this is 2019.
This is 2019, around
late 2019.
November, October.
Alright, so remember those days, late 2019, right? And I said, go get you some Cardano, which was about 2 to 3 cents at the time. Go get some chain link. Chain was about $4 at the time, right?
Yeah, like $3.
It's like $3, $4. And then he's like, in the joking matter, the joking person he is, he says, I'm gonna go get some Cuban links, right? and like he texted me that, like this text message is probably still in my old phone, right? And it's funny because I want to say it was like later on that year. No, it was like 2020 now. It's 2020, right? And we're in the gym now. And then, how exactly did it happen? Because I know it was around the time we had at the gym. That's when you started investing. So it was 2020.
Yeah, and I only had XRP and Chainlink in my
No,
portfolio.
before that, you only had XRP.
No, I had both. I had Chainlink.
So did you buy it the first time that I told you?
No.
Okay, so I told him about it, right? So remember these numbers. Cardano was 2 or 3 cents, right? Maybe 1 cent.
It was about 2 or 3 cents.
It was 2 3 cents, right?
Chainlink was about.
That's when I started buying it, and Chainlink was like $3, maybe $4 at the most, right? And that's when he said, I still remember right to this day. He's like, I'm gonna buy some Cuban links, right? And that was funny. I mean, I laughed and it was cool, right? I didn't think much of it. And then I remember I was getting a cell phone when we was at Verizon, and he came with me, and I was like, damn, let me change. It's like $17 right now. And you're like, yeah, bro. And I think Cardano went up some. You're like, no. I was like, man, I just wasn't taking it that serious at the time. This and that. And I was like, and then I just remember that moment. And then I want to say that when it really sparked for him was November of 2019. When it was
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when XRP started to take off because XRP went from 21 cents to about 80 cents.
70 something.
80 cents, and that's and I had a good amount of XRP by this time, and then I realized, wow, this crypto stuff is real. It gets real.
It's almost unreal.
It gets real, and now today, here we are, present time. When I was buying Cardano at 12 cents, it now sits at $2.80.
It almost $3.
Chainlink now back then when I was buying it was $3-4. Now you can buy it for about $24-25.
And that's because it went up as high as $52 this year, 53, 55, something like that.
That's a big.
I mean, no, but you missed Cardano though, because Cardano was at 2 or 3 cents. That's what I bought the majority of. So Cardano gave me 100x on my money.
100-time return on it.
Really?
Yes, that's crazy. That is. And the thing is, it's not done yet.
It's not done.
That's the crazy part. So I might end up getting about 300% return on Cardano.
So if somebody was asking how I'll be able to invest in these companies that y'all talking about, how would they have to go about
Well,
it?
they could. There's 2 ways I can say this.
One way is hit us up.
That's fine. And honestly, I'm not just saying this because we are going to charge you, right? Because our time is valuable, but we're going to hook you up for the amount of money you're able to make. Like we had a guy that was in Tesla. His name was Jose. Remember Jose?
Yeah, I remember.
Right. He was like one of our first clients when we first started the consulting company, and he had like 10 grand in Tesla, right? And I want to say he had 10 grand, but then stock crashed, and he had 5 grand. And I told him, all right, he met up with us, right? And he procrastinated because he hit me about a month before, right? And then I told him, all right, do this. Put your money. I played the safe one. Put it in this coin, right? I want to say a week later, he was like at 10 grand.
Really?
Yeah, he was making. I remember we was in the group, right? He's like, yeah, he's like, I love making money when I'm taking a nap. He literally said that, right? So I was like, I want to say that. So to answer your question, if you want just verbatim, go look up crypto exchanges, right? Which is basically like a stockbroker in stocks, right? And sign up, get your account, and you can start buying with your debit card. You know what I mean? It's not that hard. I mean, you can buy Bitcoin on Cash App now and PayPal. Yeah. You can buy actually a few. You can actually buy a few cryptocurrencies on Robinhood. You can buy Doge, Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin. Exactly. But you don't own any of them. But you don't own any. And that's one of the great things about crypto is that you can actually own it. You can take it. You can download. You can do a hardware wallet, or you can do a software wallet where it's. When you open a wallet, it's a beautiful thing. When you open a bank account, right? What do they ask for? Your name, social security number, address, your kid, they want everything from you, right? They want everything from you. When you open a hardware wallet, it's basically like a bank account, like a reserve bank account, right? That's for nothing. Not your name and social security number. They give you a phrase, which is called your private keys.
Mesomonic phrase, 12.
That only you know, right? You write it on a piece of paper, do whatever you want to do, hide it, put it in your safe, whatever. Or just remember it, right? It's only 2 words. It shouldn't be too hard. And you can lose your phone, you can lose the app, your kid can accidentally delete the wallet off your phone. As long as you know that phrase, you can get to your money again, right? If the IRS was to come after your money, you could put it in that wallet. They can tell you because of what? Decentralization, blockchain technology. They don't own that, right? So you own your own money, right? If the bank, let's say you are a car salesman, right? Which is something that I do. I flip cars, right? So I deposit a lot of cash on my account. So I can go deposit, $5,000 in cash, right? If the bank thinks you're doing something fishy with your money, at any point the bank can say, put a freeze on your accounts. The IRS says, you owe us money. Let me freeze this account. Let me freeze your assets, right? They can't do that to cryptocurrency because you own your cryptocurrency. If you have your cryptocurrency on Robinhood, if Robinhood says we don't have enough liquidity to force you trade, and you try to sell at a high point and they don't have the liquidity, they can literally force you out of not having it. And it happened. It happened with the AMC stuff, right? With the, I don't know if you remember. GameStop. Yeah, and you couldn't buy or sell.
Right.
That's why centralization is not the way to go. Decentralization, you taking the chains off, right? And that's why, right? Pay attention to CNBC and places like that. In 2017, when Bitcoin went from $3,000 to almost 20,000 within 4 months, right? CNBC did not say anything about buying Bitcoin at $3,000, right? And mind you, right earlier that year, it was a lot less than $300.
Yeah, it was.
Or 3,000. It was a lot less than that, right? They didn't tell you nothing, right? There was only one guy that I heard, but he gave it to his private group, right? He told him to buy it about $250. Right? It went to 3,000, it crashed back down to 20 grand in a matter of months. CNBC did not mention Bitcoin until it was 19,000 and some change. That means they want you to buy the top slap down. The reason why it's getting to the point it's gonna be mainstream, right? Is because they know the amount of millionaires that was made in 2017 from crypto, from Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP, blah, whatever. Right? The amount of it, they don't want that type of wealth transfer. Especially, well, I don't get into the type of people that don't want to get that money. Right? Because they want you like us. They want me to be a worker, right? They want me to function under their umbrella. Yeah, exactly, right? But we know we got that nest egg, we can take that nest egg, we can do our own thing, right? But I mean, honestly, man, your question was what made us get into cryptocurrency? Yeah. When I saw the charts and I saw it, I did my research. I didn't buy nothing at first, right? I heard about that company where I accidentally bought Bitcoin in the past. I sold it, made a little profit, and I remember it was super sketchy. How you buy Bitcoin back then, right? It was one of the exchange which I didn't even know was an exchange, right? But anyway, I forgot how I even got to the point that I bought Bitcoin. It wasn't a lot of money. I made a few $100 when I got out, right? I didn't even know what cryptocurrency was. I just said this thing called Bitcoin is gonna go up, right? I watched the video, cool, right? Showed me how to do it. I bought it. This is 2013, 14, I believe, right? Know what I know now, I never saw that. But anyways, So basically, when I seen the charts and the cryptocurrency we do, and then once I learned the fundamentals of cryptocurrency, I was like, why are people buying stocks? That's literally what I told myself, and I was buying stocks at the time. So after I sold my last stock, I haven't even touched it. I was just like, you know what? And I thought I didn't have enough time to accumulate, so I was going crazy. I was just, boom, okay. I made a little money, boom, right? I get paid, boom. I was not spending no money for myself at all. I was like paying my bills, right? Extra food, extra money, crypto. Extra money, crypto, right? And I wasn't making a lot of money at the time. I had my business or whatever, but expenses and payroll and stuff. So I was doing okay, right? But then it was just like it got to the point that like, man, I was broke trying to buy crypto.
Yeah, I remember.
And
he was asking me like, you got something you can sell, you know? He was telling me sell your Xbox, you know?
No, I'm serious. I was serious. I've done it.
He told me, he looked me dead in the face after training one day. He's like, you need to sell everything you have and put it into crypto. I was like, what? He's like, anything you don't have, you have and you don't use. He said, fuck it, sell your Xbox, sell your TV. It's like, get into this crypto.
And I was doing the same thing he was doing. I was selling shoes that I didn't. And honestly, to this day, like I sold a gun the other day that I lost by half my money. It was a brand new gun, never shot it, nothing. And you know what's my thought process? I said, you know what? I'm gonna sell it for literally half of what I paid for a brand new gun, never shot, still in the box, right? And I said, you know what? I'm gonna triple this money anyways. So where other place do you know that you can legally take your money and just wait, let it sit for a little bit, right? It could be next day. We can see crypto go 150%, 200% in a day. It's nothing we ain't seen before, right? So like when I was talking about the 20% gain that I made in a few months in the stock, that was a lot. 20% of the stock is a lot of money. If you put $100 and you make $20 off that stock, that's a lot of money. We're seeing this movement every single day. Sometimes we wake up and it's 20%. Damn, that's a lot. And the next day it's 30%, next day it's 15%, and it goes on runs like that. And then if you look at the end of the markets, which we're getting close to, we see the coins go 1,000% in a few days. So think about it. You put $100 into a coin, right? And then you wake up 4 days later, or you're just looking at it 4 days later, that $100 now $1,000. That's
big though.
But think about this. But think about people like us. He still like a little later than I did. He still started very early, so he saw. I don't want to give numbers. I don't want to give numbers, but all I'm gonna say is I turned a very small amount of money. To some people, it may be a lot of money, but to me, it was like because I was increments. It was $50 here, $100 here, $50 here, $40 here, right? But it added up to like a decent amount. I feel like I could have bought a nice cash car with this money, right? And it turned into I could buy cash a very nice house.
Right.
So that's what I did.
That's kind of volume though.
Bro, in a minute, but now check this out, right? And this is just me. I'm not the smartest person in the world. I was I dropped out of college. You know what I'm saying? I was in the top 10 person in my class. If I can do it, anybody can. It's just a matter of I applied myself every day. I was putting 2 or 3 hours of content in my brain. Instead of going home or instead of listening to music in the car, I pop in YouTube, right? I even pay for YouTube Premium so I can shut my screen off, right? So I don't have to listen to ads, right? That little $30 a month has made me over six figures. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's just the little things like that. And like I said, if I can do it, hell, he's done it, right? So I know that my method works because he's pretty much done the same thing with his own twist, and it works, right? And we got people in our group like you know what's crazy? And I don't know if I told you or we was talking about it. That so before when we got in this journey, right? I was like, man, my thing was like, I just want to become a millionaire. Like I want that, right? I want to be a millionaire by the end of the year, right? And what gave me the most satisfaction, honestly, and this is not just for the camera, like literally, right? Is that there's going to be at least 3 people in our group that are probably going to be millionaires because of stuff that me and Brandon implemented and taught them. You know what I'm saying? So think about it. It's not us, right? Because like what we was talking about earlier, the best investment you can make is in people, right? Now don't get me wrong, they paid us, right? They paid us for our time, right? And we didn't hit them over the head. We gave them a good deal, right? I feel like what we do is very fair, right? We're just crunching up two years of research, right? And we're crunching up into a couple hours for you, make it easy. You don't have to take that time, and you can act now.
Crash course. Crash course, and then we put you in a group with other like-minded investors that are also investing into the same things you are.
And you can network with
You can network, and we have that option there. You know, whether you need to hit up me or Javi or other people in the group that have been in there quite longer than you.
And not only that, there's people that you remember, like when Jose came in the group. Remember the guy told you to double his money, right? He came in the group. Remember was the same pool play?
Yeah.
He's like, I heard this is gonna be good. Me and Brandon, listen, me and Brandon tripled our money, bro. And literally, we did it like 8 that night. I want to say
the next day when I woke up.
The next day when I woke up, I sold it.
I was up $1,200 on this.
I was up $1,800. I put $600 on $1,200.
I was up 1,200.
I was up $1,200. So I put $600 in this coin. I said, you know what? At the time, it was less than 1% on my crypto account. At the time, I'm not gonna say what time this was. At one time, $600 was not even 1% of my account. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna risk what I told him, bro. I'm going hard because we just seen what other coin went crazy. It was another.
Shiba Inu.
I think Shiba had went crazy around that time. So we're like, man, this could be the next
Shiba.
right?
That's what I think.
And I was thinking, something told me, like, man, I was like in the morning. I remember that day. In the morning, because I scraped my rim pretty bad on the curb on the highway. It's crazy. You got a freaking curb. Like it's like a small ass, part of the road, of the highway road that has like a little, what do you call it? Like a little curve. You know what I'm saying? And I just happened to hit that. So I was trying to sell it. It's kind of like what you do with some of these exchanges. It's kind of like trickier. That's why you do want to get with people like us that can teach you hands on too. That's another thing, right? And I remember I put $600 in. He put like $600 as well, right? And I want to say it was about 8 that night when we did it. We woke up in the morning and I had $1,800. It was $1,900 something. It was actually like $2,000, but it was so volatile that once I hit sold, it was like $1,800. Yeah, that's crazy.
And the exchange takes like 10%. So
not even, no, because it was on BNB. But no, what happened was when you sold, it was so volatile that everybody was selling. So like when a small market cap like that, the volume can drop like that, or it can go up high, but on the downside.
yeah, we were on the downside of that one.
Also, it's going on the downside.
But I made 300% overnight.
But that's still good though.
Overnight.
Well, no job here is going to allow you to make $600. Take that $600, invest it into the company, and they'll give you back $1,800.
Right.
While you sleep.
While you sleep. I twiddled my thumbs a couple of times and made $1,200.
Not only that, what people don't know is probably 5-6 different ways you can make money in crypto.
Yeah.
How much does the bank pay you to keep your money in the bank? Let me ask you this. What if the bank was so cool enough, right, to give you a little bit of a cut, right? And it says, you know what? Brandon wants to buy a house. Okay? Tim, I see you have a couple $100 in your account. Could you lend Brandon, $50,000 or whatever, right? $200,000 to buy this house, right? I'm the bank, and I'm middleman and some shit right now, right? And I'm telling you, right? And he's gonna pay you a daily interest on your loan for some amount of days. We sign a contract, right?
Right.
Is the bank ever gonna do that?
Nope.
Hell no. You can do it in crypto all day long.
You can crypto.
If you own certain cryptos, you can literally go on in certain markets, right? We can teach you about that too, right? You can lend your crypto and get paid daily interest on it. So basically,
You're trading in crypto, not in USD value.
And pay you in crypto.
So you have a chance for that $100 or whatever you invest to end up, 1,000, 10,000, a million.
So for example, right? Let's say you're a trader, right? And we both. This is all automated. And let's keep it simple. I have 10 Bitcoin, right? I have 10 Bitcoin that I'm willing to lend. And I put on the market I have 10 Bitcoin. Boom, I want 0.07% a day, right? So almost 1% a day, right? It's a lot of money if you compound it, right? And I put it out there. And you would look, somebody's lending 10 Bitcoin for 0.7. I can do that because I'm gonna trade. I'm gonna make 30% off first trade. Boom. So you do it, and the money's insured, right?
Right.
So boom, you take that, and you basically just pay. And that's it. We're gonna do a 7-day contract, right? At the end of the 7 days, you pay me like I don't know. This ain't good math, right? You pay me back half a Bitcoin, right? But let's say at the time you pay me back half a Bitcoin. Let's say Bitcoin was $100, right? And let's say the next month, the half a Bitcoin you pay me, right, is now worth $500 because Bitcoin goes up and down in value, right?
Right.
If I pay you back in US dollars, you're only getting that 100 back. But not only that, the dollar loses value through inflation, right? True. So you see where I'm getting at now?
A lot of people don't know that though, because I didn't know that until you brought it to my attention.
Not only that, if you really want to get that complicated, you go through some, some brokers, right, that almost work like banks just for crypto, where you can say, you know what, I don't plan on selling this crypto for another few years, have it for 3 months. You can do contracts where you don't have to lend it, you get what's called staking, right? So basically, certain networks, not all of them, certain networks allow you to stake the crypto. Basically, it's almost like a bank, right? It's like if you put money in a money market account and they tell you, or a CD, perfect example, it's a CD, but think of it like that, right?
Okay.
And then you say, I will put $1,000 in a CD and they're going to pay me back 2% a year, which is shit, excuse me, right? So what if I told you that I can put my crypto on there, somebody's going to pay me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 20. I've seen it as high as 84%.
Really?
Yes.
84?
84%. I'm lying. I've seen as high as 159%. And check this out. Certain platforms pay you daily. Like, remember the Zillion play? They were paying me 20 coins a day. Now it's looking like 22 coins because you can compound it. But check this out. Whenever I want to, you gotta wait for the block to be over. So certain blocks are 25 days. Some blocks, some contracts are, you can do a flexible contract, but they don't pay you a lot, but you can take it out whatever you want. You can do 1 contract, 3-month contracts, you can do yearly contracts, you can do 2-year contracts. Whatever you want to do, right? But they're going to pay you back in the asset instead of paying back in dollars.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Like you said, the value of the American dollar, which a lot of people may not know, like you said, is going down in value.
Right. Yes.
So,
a lot.
Money printing does that.
And this is the best way that I can explain it. Stuff doesn't go up, the dollar goes down.
Exactly.
Your house doesn't go up in value. Your house is worth what it's worth to the current rate of whatever the dollar is worth. That's it. It's not the other way around. People think about it the other way, but it's not. The dollar loses value. That's all it is. Ever since 1971, when Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard,
right,
which is not, it wasn't pegged in, it's pegged to freaking air. Right? When the Fed came in, who's the real, the real criminals, right? I sound like Robert Kiyosaki now. but yeah, when the Fed came in, it put the control on the family to control how much money we're able to put it back into the market or in circulation, whatever you want to call it, right? So what kind of, you giving your power to certain people? You see what I'm saying?
right.
Think about crypto, you're rich fairly easily, right? Is that you can take control of your own, right? You can stake your own coins. You can take them off your exchanges, and you can hide them. I don't want to say hide them, but you can make your money work for you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the whole
Like
point.
bro,
Exactly.
as we speak right now, his computer's up, and this particular network, the one that I don't give away for free, right? He's able to make passive income as we speak. So it takes jobs, basically, right? There's a node. There's a node, right? So he has a node running right now, right? And this node picks up jobs, right? Automatically. He doesn't have to physically get a computer, right? And this node is basically picking up jobs and it's paying him back because he's operating a node for the network, right? So the network's rewarding him back in the crypto. So, come on, man.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
This man has a part-time job without having to be there.
Without having to lift a finger.
That's crazy.
And so this node, well, let's say when I got in this, it was every currency on this network was about 3 cents. Right now it's about 33 cents, but the highest was about 74 cents. But I'm getting paid about 20 something of these a week. So you can imagine,
But check this out. But not only that, the growth potential.
Exactly.
Right?
And it still hasn't even reached its growth.
But not only that, he's compounding.
Exactly.
That's another thing. One day we need to have a video about that. The
Compounded.
Compounded. It's like a snowball. You roll a snowball down the hill. What happens? That snowball gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
And in the beginning, it's not that exciting. But if you look down, along the line, and you can pay, even like a measly 10% a year, right? People are measly.
That $6. Just know that $6 you're getting paid a week can eventually be $600. Okay, and that's a big deal.
But not only that, you're not getting paid back in dollars. Now you're getting paid in an asset that has the potential to grow exponentially. You know what I'm saying? So that 20 you getting paid, right? Can next year it could be
40. Next
Whatever.
the year after that, it could be 60.
But
Next year
not
after that,
only that, you compounded it, right?
yes.
So now he's getting that 20 might be getting a week. Now he might be getting 30 a week, and now instead of being worth 30 cents, now I'm going to be worth $1, right? And then that 40 he's getting the year after might be worth 80 the next year, and that 40 cents that the dollar he's getting out might be worth $1.50, right? So you look at the parabola always going up, right? Not just the value, but the amount that you're getting deposited, right? It's kind of like stock dividends,
Right.
but you're not getting paid you're getting paid back in shares, which is okay, I guess, right? I'm a crypto maximum, so I'm not the right person to talk about this, but it's
I see the excitement in your face when you're talking
you
about it.
know what I'm saying? It's almost like highway robbery. Like sometimes I feel like it's too good to be true. That's what it feels like sometimes. When I look at my account and they're paying me back 20 coins a day. 20 coins a day.
Which were worth 40 cents
Which
back
is-
then, but they're
which-
worth
which-
$3 now.
Which are easily going to be worth $1.
So, yeah.
Easily going to be worth $1, right? And probably more. I'm thinking more like $4 to $5, right?
Yeah,
For sure. Yeah, easily. Close to
$5 is what I'm aiming for.
But that's what I'm saying. So think about pay, and at the time I'm gonna keep it around number 20. I'm getting maybe like 22 now. It's compound,
Right.
So think about if that coin's $5 and they pay me $100 a day, not to sell, not to sell. Bro.
Really?
And the best thing, the bank's closed on the weekends, right?
They'll never close.
Crypto is 365, 24/7. Christmas, it don't matter. New Year's, it don't matter. That means every day, Sunday through Saturday, because the first day of the week is Sunday. And we'll get into he gets that joke. He gets that joke. And I know you get it too if I tell you what I'm talking about. But anyways, so think about if that coin, right? I'm getting $100 a day, right? That's $700 a week. Some people don't make that in their job.
It's true though.
And I don't have to pay. I ain't gonna get into that. I'm not even gonna get into the T word. Yeah, pretty much, man. So to give you a long-winded explanation, that's pretty much how me and him started this whole crypto thing.
It's not like a journey, man. Like you said,
It was a journey. It was a journey. It was a lot of trial and error.
Right.
Definitely a lot of trial and error.
Ups and
Don't
downs.
get me wrong, we took losses, but our winnings have overlapped by a long shot.
And there was things that we didn't act upon that we kind of regretted later. I wouldn't consider that a loss, but it was still a learning lesson.
But the thing is, remember I talked about crypto cycle. Next cycle coming around.
Oh, we know now. We know now. It's in our database.
We're bulletproof. We experienced a bear market. We experienced a volatile bull market. We experienced manipulation.
A double bull market.
Manipulation.
Exactly.
Right? So we're bulletproof. So next time around, we're gonna be multi-millionaires.
Yeah.
And you can too, because you know us. All you have to do is just let me help.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do, man. Like I said,
I told you about
being
time
here.
ago.
Yeah, we did talk about
I
it.
told you a long time ago.
And like you said, and my thing was, like you said, going to YouTube trying to learn, but trying to find the right people to learn it. Because like you said, you never know, man. Somebody could be out here trying to get rich real quick.
There are some shillers out there
Right.
that do get paid by companies to promote certain coins, right? So you do have to understand. You do have to understand,
For example,
what you're dealing with.
Because I'm like, when I was looking at the Cardano, there's one particular YouTuber that introduced me to that coin. You know who he is, right? And he had no steam. They got nobody listening to him because his videos are kind of boring, right? And they're not boring to me because I'm used to them, right? But I just got so many say it's boring, and just because I tuned in, I feel like it's almost divine. You know what I'm saying? I was almost like God put me, my eyes at the time to be there to watch that video. And I looked into this coin, and I'm like, man, this coin is like boring, right? And then I go back to my investing fund. You always invest in something that's boring, right? You never, if something has good potential, right? It's like, for example, I'm gonna give you that's how I kind of think about it. It's like the girl in high school that nobody really sees. And like, man, she has a lot of potential, right? And then you see her 5 years later, it's like, man, she can blossom, right? So you could have got her then, right? And helped her blossom or whatever, right? That's kind of what I looked at forget Cardano, right? When I was buying that thing at And see, crypto is called a white paper. You go to certain exchanges, and there's literally a white paper that details the company's plan, how they're going to grow the company. You literally got that. You got that in your face. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, right? So I looked at it and I read it. And I went, damn, that sounds like a long process. But I feel like the way they approached it, right, it's a good approach. You know what? I relate it to how the way I think. Right? Man, it's like someone speaking to me. The paper was speaking to me, and the only thing I regret is not copping 100,000 of those things, because I could have copped 100,000 for 1,000, $2 grand of those coins.
And be eating right now, baby.
Because you can stake that coin.
You making about $500 a week right now.
More than that.
I'm just saying.
Because right now, staking that coin.
That would have been a part-time job if we capitalized on that point.
Bro, right now they're paying you what? Depending on the price, anywhere from $60 to $80 a week.
He paid $80 a week and he doesn't have to lift a finger.
I mean, it don't sound exciting, right?
But think about it. If you're working for $15 an hour, you're working more than half a day to make the same amount of money.
But check this out, though. We ain't even talking about the compound effect. I mean, we're talking about compounding, but if that thing compounds, and this company's going to grow exponentially through the future, right? That $60 to $80 a week can be $600 to $800 a week. So now I can literally live off me not selling my position because it's going to keep growing, right? And not only that, cryptocurrencies, for the most part, have a certain amount that can never be minted or made, right? So there's no more. After that, think about the scarcity factor. Once scarcity kicks in, and everybody wants it. Free game, there's only 21 million Bitcoin that could ever be come into existence. There's more than 21 millionaires on this earth. So if every millionaire wanted to come right now and say, I want a Bitcoin, not including the Bitcoin that's lost. Right? Bitcoin that gets burnt out during transactions.
Exactly.
Right? So in reality, if we're talking 18 million Bitcoin, right? Think about that. And not only that, there's not 18 million Bitcoin out there to begin with, because the algorithm doesn't allow it to all come out at one time. Right? And we can talk about that another day, because Bitcoin halving is a long conversation to have. But I mean, just think about the potential of that. And my bad. I need to make this a crypto episode.
No, this is what I want it to be, because like I said, as far as me watching from forward, watching y'all and watching y'all grow crypto, that's the first thing that came to mind when y'all started talking about it. So my thing was, back then, like around January and February, they had a thing going crazy, with Doge and stuff like that. And I saw your, I think you might did a YouTube video, and I know it was on Instagram when you posted it. Like, don't invest in Doge, because eventually, like, it's rising up high, but it's going to crash eventually. Like, it's not going to be good.
It was more, we was definitely hating on Doge, and I ain't gonna lie. I made some money in Doge on the retracement, but it was more of a trade. People have to remember, trading and investment is two different things.
Okay.
An investment mid to long term, and trade is short term thing. Right? I have no belief in Dogecoin at all. Zero, right?
So my thing
and it was Brandon in one of the videos. We're like, we're not buying Dogecoin.
No, sir.
But I did put it in a group.
You did?
I didn't know about investment group. I did put it on there, and everybody was giving me so much hell, man. Because remember the first time I said I bought Dogecoin, I put $3 grand in Dogecoin, right? And because I work on what's called a Fibonacci retracement zones, right? And it works perfectly, right? So I looked at it like, man, I don't like this project, but I'm looking at the chart. It looks like it's crazy because I'm looking at the extension. They went to 44 cents and then it crashed, right? And then I want to say it was 22 cents. So I caught it at half. It lost half the value already, right? It crashed hard. That's when I was telling Jaden to sell it. No, it's going to go $2. Right? And then it crashed. And then I just looked at it, I had $2 grand spare. And I was like, because it was in my account. It was in my investment account. Not my bank account, it was in my investment account. And I was like, you know what? I think I called it and told you. Because I would always tell him first before I told the group. Right? And then I was like, you know what? I'm lucky to buy some dollars. Like, no, I'm not. And it's not for everybody, right?
Yeah, it was a risky play. I mean, you look, since they said Doge was going to hit $1, it never once hit $1.
Check this out. So I bought Doge at crash already, right? And everybody was pissed because YouTubers were, it's going to $1. We're like, it ain't, right? Me and him was having a conversation telling our people in their group, like, yo, like we had a company that had Doge in the group, and it went up, it was like 30 something cents, and we were like, man, it's probably a good time to probably sell that thing. that's probably a good indication. You probably take profit, right? But then I looked at the chart first and foremost, and it retraced, and it was right at a retracement level that I like, 318, and that's like the most explosive, right? So I took a gamble. I was like, if this thing stays right here, doesn't go any lower. So I gave it a name, and it stayed right there. I said, you know what? I think this thing's gonna go crazy. So you know what? I threw like 3,300 at it. Right? I think it was like 32 something, and it's crazy. It was like I want to say a week and a half later. There was the weekend. It was a Thursday. It was the weekend before Elon Musk was going to SNL, right? And I want to say that it was already at 73 cents. So I almost triple my money, right? Already, right? I'm more than triple my money. So that 3,300 I put in was like 11 grand at the time, and I was 7 grand, and I'm like, yo. And I drank a couple drinks that night, right? And we set a claim.
We just came from a good salt.
We had a claim meeting, right? So we like to take our class at a restaurant. We have food, so all this thing. It just boosts you up more, and I get more excited. They get more excited, and we all make money, right? So we left the meeting. I went in his car, and he's like, either you're driving, or you picked me up that day, I don't believe.
Yeah.
You picked me up from the house. So I'm in the car, and I'm telling him, oh, this ain't looking too good. But I was waiting for what's going to happen that Saturday night. Then one of my fundamentals came back, right? Buy the rumor, sell the news, right? So like, something told me.
It was me.
No,
it was me that told you.
No, because
you were in the Whataburger parking lot.
No, this before. This before we pulled off.
Oh, okay.
Because I sold half of it first. And we leaving the parking lot. Right? We were leaving the parking lot. I said, oh, like, I feel like I should take profits. Yeah, you should. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take half, and I'm gonna see what happens with the other half. And then he's like, I want to say we were driving, going towards Whataburger. And he was like, just sell it all. Right. You made your money already? Man, listen. I'm so glad I did. That thing crashed so damn hard the next day.
When on his appearance.
No, it was literally like around 2 a.m. in the morning.
It was during his appearance, bro. Like literally,
It crashed before though.
Yeah, it crashed a little bit. But it crashed like 48 cents, something like that. And then he went on the SNL. It went up a little bit, then went back down to 32 cents. So he would have been right back where he started.
It went down to 20
I hit. That's all I'm gonna say. I hit. It was just.
So when you think about that, do you think that it made, I guess, grow maybe?
I
don't have any faith in Doge because fundamentally wise it was made as a joke, but also 12 wallets own 90% of all Dogecoin.
Fundamentals. Right? So you have to understand. And hold on, one wallet owns 28%.
Yeah, just alone. So you gotta understand, if anybody's getting rich, it's the 12 people that own 90%
and
of
what's not to know that these 12 people know each other.
Exactly.
And they're talking together. Right?
Yeah, let's wait till these clowns get to $1 and we'll dump on all of them.
99 cents.
We'll dump on all of them.
You think people care?
No.
So fundamentally, right, that's another fundamental he's talking about, right? And in a way, Dogecoin is very centralized. 2, it's an unlimited supply.
Exactly.
One thing that I love about cryptocurrency is they have a set supply, so you can flood the market, right? Like the dollar. So why would I give that up? So why would I get into a project like that?
You see a lot of, I guess, for what they was doing. I know at one point they was on, what's that body spray? Axe or something like that. That was being promoted on that.
Listen, I am bullish on Doge in the short term. I do believe it's gonna go, but I would not. I would not put my life savings. I think a psychological number of $1, I would sell before that. And every time, this ain't financial advice, right? I think Dogecoin is gonna go probably past the all-time high of 73, 74 cents, whatever you look at it, right? And I believe that close to $1. This is what I think, right? Don't take my word. This ain't financial advice. This is what I think. I believe that. Because of the notoriety it has, and Mark Q and Elon really speaking up for it. And they're putting their patches on this, right? But that's cool. Yeah, like there's a soccer team that put like Dogecoin on there. Right? Anyways. And if you're gonna get into it, I would just don't take this, my investment opinion, sell before $1.
Or don't buy and you save all of that problem right there.
Nah, I think it is gonna go up. Like, if you buy Dogecoin right now, you're gonna make some money. How much? But the thing, it can work to the way that you get married to a coin, right? You believe in it so much, and then 12 people dump on you, and then all that money you could have made, you just lost it. Because, you ain't make the money till you pull the trigger. That's one thing we learned too.
And you better hope they let you pull that trigger.
Yep.
You better hope it ain't all safety. You know what I'm saying?
You better hope you never rob it.
Yeah, robbing the hood.
Robbing the hood, for real. I like that, man. But, I think, so, I know for the lead talk, you want to follow more of the aspect of, we're crypto guys, of course, right? But you want to talk more like on the topic of building generational wealth.
Yeah.
And the route of an entrepreneur, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, because we talk crypto. We literally do this all day, right?
But that's good though, because like I said, just
But see, the thing is, crypto ain't the only vehicle. It's ours. So crypto is the good vehicle for us, and it could be for you too, right? But also, like, we have other stuff that we're doing. We have other stuff that we plan on doing with our crypto money, right? This is the vehicle that we're using to get to. Because at the end of the day, my thing is financial freedom, right? I want to be free. Right? I want to be able to wake up and do what the hell I want to do. If I feel like, if we wake up in Dallas, Texas, right, and it's 20 degrees outside, I want to be able to be like, you know what? What's the weather in Puerto Rico today? Oh, look, Brandon's 80 degrees. You want to go? Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. We got to watch clothes. I ain't got to watch clothes. We'll just shop when we get there. I want to have that type of freedom, right? And it's not about living a certain lifestyle. Which lifestyle is cool, right? I'm not going to lie to you. And have a nice thing. It's living the freedom, and how many people can I get to have that freedom with me?
How many people you can help on the way? Because honestly,
That's just a
we
lot.
really don't get, money, it is what it is. It should be used as a tool to help you. You know what I'm saying? It should only be looked at as a tool as well. Like you can't take it with you when you go. So our biggest thing is about helping people. There's so many people in our groups that tell us, man, thank you so much. You changed my life. You did this for me. I went from this to that. You changed my mindset.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. That's the biggest thing we get.
And then when we think, then they say to us, why don't y'all charge more? That's the real question we get asked. And we be like, wow, we feel like our price is fair, but it isn't about us making money. It is about us passing on knowledge to you so you can do what's in your best interest for yourself.
right.
And not only that, think about this, man. I got a young kid. He's young. He's 21. I don't think they're
Marco, Spanish cat.
You know Marco?
Yeah, we have the.
That's right.
Yeah.
We had the economy meeting.
Yeah.
That's right.
And Theta.
That's right.
Gang.
So Marco was a young kid, and he kind of always, he had the mentality for it of what he wants to be doing, and he could never really piece it together. And he was like taking his course for stocks, right? And I was like, oh, this is what I do. And he talked to me about it one time, and he didn't say anything to me. One day, a couple weeks later, he just was like, yeah, let's just do it, right? Just do it. It's called Uber. He met me at one of the places we were meeting at. And the very first coin that I was investing was Cardano. It was like 80 cents at the time. And I told him straight up. Because I never put nobody into a risky project right away, unless they tell me what
Their risk tolerance. We always go over risk. What's your risk tolerance?
So check this out. So mind you, I was buying Cardano at 2-3 cents, right? That's 80 cents now. But I have so much faith in it, right? And now, you know what? I want to play safe with them. Just like just start with that. That's a good start. And I told them they pumped a lot and may go down. It may keep going up. I don't know. Right? Cardano almost $3 last week, right?
$3 last week.
But it is not the amount of money that he made. This is what I taught him. Now he sends me articles all the time. And I remember one time he just sent me like a long paragraph. Yo, man, thank you. Like the way he sees everything. Like, he's into NFTs now. Right? It's like hot. He's teaching me about NFTs. I'm not interested in them, but he's teaching me about it. And he's telling me, rules that I wouldn't have got because I'm not paying, I haven't been great at paying attention to news until recently again, right? So we took the I'll take a break from the market. I thought you kind of did too.
I would watch it every day, even when it's in the red.
No, of course. I'm saying like, I wasn't on it like we were. Well, me personally, I wasn't on it like I was.
It's just because you were sad about the account balance.
Yeah, it's hard, man. You see 6 figures going in 2 days. Now, I didn't lose it, right? Because I didn't sell. I didn't panic sell, right? But anyway, and that's when I noticed, like, yo, in the beginning, I was like, man, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be able to buy a house here. I want to live secluded. I was telling also in the house that I wanted. And I mean, it's kind of like in the country of Puerto Rico. And I got an acre of land, everything. I mean, I go outside and grab a mango off one of the trees. You know what I'm saying? Eat like that. I was envisioning my lifestyle already, right? So like, I wanted to get away from here. And but the thing that brought me the most joy is when people like that were telling me, yo, like you almost changed my life. I think a lot different now, right? And that's the biggest thing, like, especially with like entrepreneurship, right? It's the biggest thing wrong, right? It's like your mindset. You gotta have that mindset. Like, yo, I want to do something for me and for for my generations to come, right? And without that mindset, you would never accomplish it. So once you get that mindset of thinking like you might have to work more than you would do on the job, right?
You actually do have to work more.
Yes, you do. And it's stressful, right? But it's more rewarding.
And you won't always get paid for those extra hours you work. So there's a trade-off with it. It ain't all sunshine and rainbows.
Right.
Being an entrepreneur, you're a boss now, all right? So you have to take on more. You are the business in itself. You are taking on all the responsibilities. So if you're not ready to handle certain responsibilities and things that come with it, it also might not be for you. That's one thing you have to realize. It sounds good, but not everybody can be a boss. People do have to work.
Yep, and that's another thing. You really got to worry about the back. Exactly. Pause. But it's like you're doing all this work at the front end, right? And like you got almost the instant gratification when you get our job. Like, we know we work this week, we're gonna get paid on Friday,
Right.
or every 2 weeks, whatever. You're gonna get paid. Here it's like you doing a lot of work, and you might get paid very little to nothing. But what it is you're building something for yourself that's gonna be able to generate income for the rest of your life. Right? That's the whole reason why you get into this, right? Because you're gonna build something for yourself. Like you work at AutoZone, right? And you're a great salesperson, right? Yeah, they're gonna reward you to the point that they feel comfortable rewarding you to, right? But what you're putting in, building them is no comparison to what you get, right? So anyway, let's say you start your own AutoZone, right? And you put all this work, and at first when you break even, you losing money, this and that, and then bam, one day you just hit, right? And you're like, you're a household name, you're Tim Zone now, right? And Tim Zone, you ain't even got to work no more. Now you got employees, now you got a system in place, right? Now you got a manager, a vice president, shift manager, regular employees, part-timers, whatever. Now you got a system, right? You can go check on the Bahamas, right? The Tim Zone is going to be producing a certain amount of money every week for you. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But that wouldn't happen if you didn't spend the first 5 years of you building that. But the difference is you can spend 5 years in a company, right? And you're building it, and at any point they can say, you gotta go.
That's true.
Right? And this is up to you. And at the end of the day, you always what? Bet on yourself. So if you're not willing to bet on yourself, this is a game ready for you. If you want to take the safe route, get you a job, be a good employee, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And this is for people that want more in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when take it, I mean, I was always like that. So, and I feel like he was always like that. So it just kind of happened. You know what I'm saying?
Man. It's just learn a lot of information today, especially with this whole crypto thing. Like I said, me personally, just trying to, I guess you say, find your niche, whatever you want to do in life, that you feel like you be able to do good and give back, be able to teach others on it. And so, like I said, start out with the stock market. I do a little bit of that, but this crypto thing, like I said, been watching, I've been catching my eyes, my interest, so definitely got to sit down and talk with y'all. My last question before we wrap it up: what does wealth mean to y'all?
I think I can explain mine. So I get it over with. Freedom. The freedom to live my life at my own terms. That's it. And also to be able to give my family and my future generations, right? To give them the opportunity of, having an advantage. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Because we know people that have that advantage that we did.
Right.
So I want to be able to be that one person that builds the generational wealth for them. So they can, hopefully they don't mess it up. Right? At least I'm giving them a good shot. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what it means for me.
Same, man. I would say, wealth for me is freedom, of course. I mean, everybody wants freedom.
That's my biggest thing for me.
That's that's a big thing. But wealth for me, it isn't so much financially; it's spiritually as well. You know, you got to be in tune with yourself, what you're about, what you got going on, what you want to do, what you've already done. But in terms of the financial wealth for me is creating that freedom as well as creating that head start is what I would call it for the future generations.
You could wake up and have that freedom. Wouldn't you be more in tune with your spiritual side?
For sure.
If you don't have to go.
But I feel like those all work together.
No, exactly. To be happily in freedom, right? Think about this. You don't have to go to a job that you hate, and now you're not dealing with these different energies all the time. Right? So when you can wake up and say, you know what? Today I feel like going for a run. Today I feel like just chilling. Today I feel like going to the gym. Today, whatever. Today I want to take the wife and kids to the Bahamas. Today I want to, whatever. Right? I guarantee you're probably going to be a happier person more than likely. Right? So that's why I said the freedom part is like everything just kind of comes together. Even the spiritual side, right? If you have more time to devote yourself to whatever you believe in, right? Or I just feel like it, like I said, it just kind of works its way.
It all works its way together.
But I feel like freedom is the biggest part. Now you can choose the way you guide yourself.
I can choose where I put my energy,
Exactly.
where I invest my energy back into.
Exactly. So yeah, that's pretty much what it means to me, man. How about you?
What's wealth mean to you?
Oh man. Pretty much basically aligned with y'all saying as far as what wealth it comes in any different shape or form, but as far as the financial way, like you said, just pretty much being able to know that I could pretty much have that opportunity to, like you said, do what I want to do.
You will, you have to say.
Yeah, you're right. And I gotta start doing it, start changing how the way I talk, my mindset. Because like you said, mindset plays a big part.
Your thoughts are powerful.
Right.
What you say is powerful.
It's very powerful. So at the end of the day, it's about doing the hard work as far as that way my kids can have that wealth when they grow up and stuff like that. That way they don't have to work like this.
Your kids.
Right.
Because you're supposed to hand it down to your kids.
Right about that though.
Because like our grandparents were supposed to take care of us or have something problem with that. Right? I mean, I didn't get that. Right? I didn't either.
Nothing either.
So, but now it's time to like teach your kids so they can do for their grandkids. I mean, they're probably going to end up getting blessed anyways, but that's how it should be. Your kids should be growing up in a mindset already to where they'll need you. They can know their own, right?
Right.
So it's like, oh, okay, the way it should work, right? You're old, and your kids are older, and they have their kids, right? Your kids should be straight. Your grandkids should be the ones that you leave and stuff to. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's about the Bible. You know what I'm saying? It's a kids. So, but I see what you're saying. But in the way you pass it down,
Right, just passing it down to knowledge, because that's where it starts. I mean,
knowledge is everything, bro.
Right.
Information. And then he said that one thing that was so powerful. He said, sometimes you have to pay for information. Because second, little thing of information that can cause.
That's the thing. You pay for what you don't know.
Every time, right?
Every time. Lack of knowledge doesn't mean you're stupid. It just doesn't mean you don't know any better, right?
For example, Brandon is a very gifted plumber, right? He was in his past life, right? Alright, so like his last job, you were a plumber, right?
Right.
So if in your toilet breaks or your faucet breaks, right? You pay for what you don't know, right?
That's right.
So you're gonna hire him to do it for you because
There's nothing wrong with having a mentor, especially in stuff that you don't know what's going on.
We have mentors.
We have mentors. And he was my mentor. He still is for the greater part of 3-4 years.
And it kind of works both ways because in a way I started it, but then it was like he was teaching me something that I didn't even know.
Are you gonna learn to be a millionaire from a millionaire or a homeless motherfucker on the street? You know what I'm saying? I mean, the homeless guy has already shown you with his actions that he can't get you there. The millionaire can, but the millionaire more than likely is not going to have time to teach you, or his time is not going to be free. You're going to be paying in some way or another, but that's okay because if you invest in yourself, eventually you could be where he is. You see what I'm saying? So,
and also change the people.
It's an investment in yourself. Don't look at him. He's trying to charge me $100 because I don't know how to, change a faucet or replace a toilet. It's not about that. Okay, you're not paying for the labor. You're paying for their experience.
Exactly.
That's what that is.
That's what makes all the difference. Also, your circle of friends, or the people you spend the most time with. Right? Don't have to be your friends all the time, but if we have a very, we went to high school together, so we have a lot of the same mutual friends. So it's to the point that like, if the people that are your best friends are still doing the same thing they were doing 5 years ago, 10 years ago, right? That's probably the person you want to be. You love them, right? But that's probably the person you don't want to be spending a lot of time with, because their energy or their thoughts can rub off on you, right? You want to be around people that go scary, right? Like I want to have friends that like, I talk to my friends all the time, right? Man, let's get some apartment complexes. I'm talking about getting apartment complexes, right? These people talking about where am I going to live next year? What apartment am I going to move to? You see what I'm saying? That's the conversation you want to be having. And if you don't have friends that like I want, I forgot who said it. They're like, I want to be the weakest link, right? In my friends, if I have $1 million, I don't want to be the weakest link in there, right? So I want my friends to have 10 million, 100 million, whatever. It's not about the money all the time, but it is about growth, right? And the thing is, it's crazy how it goes hand to hand, unless you were just born rich, right? That their knowledge and the way their mindset is set up, right? They have this amount of money, and it's not because of the money, right? It's because of what they know and the way their mindset works, right? So if you start hanging around people like that, eventually you're gonna gradually start going there. So it's just crazy how it works. You know what I'm saying? Like you hang around a lot of motherfuckers that bring you
Bro, shoot, motherfuckers. What do you think you're gonna do?
You're probably going to, even if you're the getaway driver, you're gonna, your ass going to, excuse my language. Yeah, pretty much, man. We should do this again.
No, definitely, most definitely. Got to, because my thing is I want to grow and seeing y'all.
Well, the thing is, you already grew them.
You did.
If you think about it, right? Because you took the initiative, right? And not saying we're just like these gurus or whatever, right? Because there's a lot. I mean, I asked you for business advice before. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, with the trucking.
With the trucking, right? That's one thing that I want to do. I want to invest in, right? And that's something that you have knowledge in that I have like basic knowledge of, but maybe you've been in the industry, worked in it, or whatever you've done. You know what I'm saying? You can teach me. You see what I'm saying? But I mean, you already grew. Just having this conversation, you already grew, right? And I'm not saying that we just talk to this, but it's like you every time you're in a room with like-minded people, you're growing. You know what I'm saying? Because now, in a way, we already networked, right? He didn't know what you did right now. But aren't you interested in buying a truck?
Yeah, I do have interest in a lot of passive income ideas, man. I'm trying to make that mailbox money,
Stay passionate, my friend.
Get a little shirt with that, man.
Stay passionate, all right? Hey, I got you. You know what I'm saying? We could, since you I didn't think about that. We could all invest, and we could make some money.
merch.
Y'all gonna cop it? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Why not? Stay passive. I like
That's a
that.
good shirt, though. Let's talk.
He said it.
Merch.
So just because you said it, now we gotta come together and put it into action.
I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? That's like you said, growing and being around like-minded people. Because that's what it is at the end of the day. Like you said, being around like-minded people, getting your mindset right. Because a lot of people, like you said, especially listening to different millionaires, they have the same routine. I don't care what it is, how they started out.
Exactly.
It's either they always woke up early in the morning, exercising, and studying or reading.
And then allow them to eat healthy too.
Right. That's true.
Except for Warren Buffett. He probably has the worst diet.
Yeah, but when you got $600 million from dividends and Coca-Cola, you have no stress in your life. You just, you know what I'm saying? You just, buying Big Mac combos and sipping the Coca-Cola every day. I mean, we're not Warren Buffett. We didn't get to invest at the time he got to invest.
But that's why we're in what we're in and why we're doing what we're doing.
And his thing says, if you have an investment that pays you consistently, that makes you money, never sell it. That's what he says. But I'm gonna be selling.
Because he's not in the market we in.
Yeah, because your market's a lot different, man. And my market's very volatile. But I tell you what, that money that I do make, I'm gonna turn around and put it into something that's gonna make me more money, right? Now then I'm gonna really adapt with Warren Buffett. If this thing keeps paying me, not costing me money, I'm gonna keep it.
As simple as that.
Grant Cardone said that his first property, the only thing he regrets is selling. Yeah, you got something that pays you. Never sell it. That's what Warren Buffett says. thoughts or whatever you think of that man. He's made it work, right? So.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, I appreciate y'all for y'all time.
I appreciate you inviting us, man.
Appreciate y'all for y'all
It's
time.
cool.
Because we, you know, Washington, we done this. And so I know we gonna be back, man. I know this is kind of like a joint venture that we just did with the podcast. So you can watch it, go watch it in his podcast, watch it our podcast, like it, comment, share it. Any questions, you know what I'm saying? Hit both of us up.
No, real talk, we definitely put y'all YouTube with some people that do come on there and be able to, alright, let's see what they talking about. Just
And we haven't been recording, but we're gonna change that up.
Yeah, we've been
I'll
talking
get
about
back on it.
We've been talking about it. We've been working out this stuff that we're gonna talk about.
Yeah, man, we excited. It's gonna be a good year.
Yeah, man, I'm thirsty. Get some water.
appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate y'all.
Real talk, man.